Good morning, guys. Welcome to Flippin Live. We are on day 10. My name is Andrew from 510 Books, and this is our 10th day of going streaming live here on the show. I'm really glad that people have been showing up and we've been able to chat and talk about different topics, try to talk about different stuff every day. Today's Tuesday, May 12th. I'm always getting the number of days we've been streaming confused with the actual day. But today's Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., 7:02. And today we're going to talk about VHS tapes and some other stuff too. But I'm going to do a deep dive into reselling VHS tapes and show you some numbers of what I've done before and the types of tapes that make sense and that sort of thing. And we can kind of talk about other stuff too if that pops up, if we get more people involved. But thought this would be a fun topic to talk about. So let's get the day started.
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive, we're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live.
Good morning, everybody. Whoever's tuning in, glad to see you guys. Good question, Brian. I'll get to it in a second. So before we dive into VHS tapes, I thought we were going to talk about the books that I picked up yesterday. So I'll put that off till tomorrow because I did pick up probably 100 or so books yesterday as a donation that I got through the Facebook ads that I'm running, or ad that I'm running. So that was awesome, but I'm going to hold off until tomorrow. I got two small bins and one larger box of donations, and they're all on the same theme, actually. They're all actually Native American, but American Indian, Native American themed books on all different types of tribes. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But that was an interesting experience. The guy said that he had prayed that someone would come and take the books, and then soon after he saw my ad on Facebook. So Facebook, people say, how does Facebook know what I'm thinking? Well, it's apparently Facebook is all-knowing, and it answers your prayers as well. So who knew? So I thought that was kind of funny. Okay, hi South London. Awesome to see you. See, we have a couple other people here. If you're new, feel free to say hi in the chat, ask questions. Today we're going to talk a little bit about, do a bit more of a deep dive, I guess you could say, into VHS tapes. I used to sell quite a lot of them. I'll share with you in a little bit my screen, and I still have this what's it called, spreadsheet that I started keeping all the way back to 2015 when I started reselling used VHS tapes. What is happening? Okay. And good morning, Pat. And anyway, I'll share that with you. It's kind of cool to look back because I can see what was actually selling years ago and what I was selling and sort of the predominant themes of that. As you guys may or may not know, most of you guys here probably know that I started with books and then gradually got into other media, and VHS was one of those ones that I actually got into pretty early. According to my spreadsheet, actually, April 15th was one of the first VHS of 2015. So I had been reselling less than a year, only, let's see, October, November, December. Yeah, so about 7 months in, I made my first VHS tape sale to sort of add that to the mix, to try to diversify more beyond books. Hold on, let me close this door real quick. reselling beyond just books. I started diversifying early on. I don't know if I just stumbled across VHS tapes, decided to look them up, or if I saw something online. But I started to realize that that diversifying was a good idea. While you can stay only in books for sure, there's many people that only resell books on Amazon, only do FBA, or only do Amazon, only do merchant fulfilled, etc. But it's good even within books to diversify. But also, I think it's just a good idea to diversify into other types of media because it just makes more sense when you're out there sourcing wherever you are, wherever you end up sourcing. As we know, there's many ways to source, and so it's a good idea to have an eye for a lot of other media, especially during times like this, or if you're having a hard time finding books. So I think VHS tapes, which is crazy, people think about VHS tapes and why. And it's a good idea to get into because they think about, well, who buys VHS tapes? Didn't people stop producing VHS tapes a long time ago? There's actually at the moment I'm blanking on it, but there is a VHS tape that's one of the more valuable ones because it was the last one distributed on VHS tape. It was like in 2005 or 6 or something like that, a movie, I believe. And it's valuable just because it was the last one that was, mass produced for people to buy. Because people are no longer, studios and whatnot, they're no longer putting out VHS tapes unless it's someone randomly doing it independently, that type of thing. But they're just no longer being made. Clearly, everything's DVDs, Blu-ray, all that type of stuff. So for physical media, of course, everything's streaming. But yeah. Brian says, I heard some exercise VHS tapes can do well, but I haven't found one. Yeah. So I'm going to dive into the different types. There's a few categories that I started jotting these down, thinking about it, going back over the ones that I sold in the past. And a lot of this still applies, although the specific ones that I was selling, let's see, how long has that been? 4 plus years ago. Some of the specific titles might not be as valuable as they used to be. So it all depends on the numbers. You always have to look at the numbers, but some of them have held up over the past 4 years and they're still going for good money. So it just depends on what it is. But the funny thing is about VHS tapes, well, not funny, but the thing about them is they were huge back in the day, right? In the 80s, VHS tapes were huge. There were VHS tapes, Blockbuster stores, movie rental places, and what were they renting? It was all VHS tapes. Nobody had discs yet. And if you guys remember laser discs, because I remember specifically that as VHS tapes were, as technology was changing and the industry was trying to figure out what to go into next, there started to become, I don't know if it was I think it was DVDs, but it was also the laser discs came out. I remember my local movie rental place they went deep into laser discs, unfortunately for them, and then that didn't work out. But laser discs were a big deal. Those were those huge record-sized discs, which when you think about it is kind of funny, right? It kind of makes sense. Oh, well, we had records before, so why not make laser discs or movies? Why not put them on record-size discs? And then when you look at laser discs, when you come across them, sometimes you can't even tell that they're a laser disc versus a record. Before you pull out the disc, of course, but it's funny that used to be the thing. And then, of course, DVDs came in and it took off from there because they're much smaller, way much less. But a few years back, I actually came across in a Gaylord a bunch of laser discs, and I sold them locally to a guy who collects or likes to use laser discs, and he came to my house. I had it in the garage, sold it to him, I don't know, $35, $30 or whatever, a bunch of them together. So I was happy. And if you look on eBay, I'm sure there's people buying laser discs. So you just, and there's certain ones that might be valuable too. You never know. We could go, I don't know very much about laser discs or how popular they are, but there's other types of old media like 8 tracks, things like that I have sold as well. So just because a technology is dead doesn't mean that people still aren't still seeking it. So 2 of the main reasons here, let me look at somebody's commenting. Hi, Eddie. before I jump into what I was going to say, I'll say, because Brian had asked, before I jump into the two big reasons why VHS tapes can still be valuable. He says, here's a question. Since so many VHS tapes aren't valuable, would it be worth selling in lots like you do with DVDs and CDs? No, not the popular stuff. So if you find, Sleepless in Seattle and Gladiator and whatever, like really popular titles that, let me, good morning, everybody. People are joining in. This is awesome. Feel free to participate in the chat. We're talking about reselling VHS tapes here. So should you resell like CDs or DVDs, popular titles as VHS tapes? No, they will not do well. In my experience, they have not done well. It's better to find less known tapes based on genre, VHS tapes, and put them into lots. So different types of specific niches that would make sense, like workout tapes and kids programming and that type of thing, or a series or something like that. But just your generic run-of-the-mill popular movie titles have not done well for me. So I would say no to that. So in terms of why people would still want to buy VHS tapes when they can buy other types of physical media. So there's two big reasons there might be other reasons, but these are the two that come to my mind. Are, first of all, some people are collectors, right? So some people like to collect old media, right? Some people I've even seen some Facebook pages, they're like, not fan pages, but they're public pages where this guy shows off his collection of like 80s stuff, but a lot of it is VHS tapes. So he buys hard to find VHS titles and he displays them in his house, and he's got this whole nice display case or multiple display cases, and he's got like action figures and stuff. And so there's people that collect VHS tapes of certain titles, either just VHS tapes, or they like to have all the different types of iterations. So all the different types of technology, VHS tape, they want the DVD, they want the Blu-ray, et cetera, et cetera. They want all the different types of technology that movie came out on. So there's always collectors, and that can be for lots of different things, not just VHS tapes, of course. And then the other big reason is that a lot of movies that came out on VHS tape never came out on DVD or Blu-ray or any other type of physical media. So unless you can find it somewhere on TV or streaming, the only way you're going to have a physical copy, if you want a physical copy, is you have to buy the VHS tape. And you'd be surprised how many movies and just programming in general, also a lot of kids programming too, never made it to VHS tape. And there's a lot of reasons it could be. They just never got around to it, right? Like the studio, whoever owns the rights to the show, just for whatever reason decided not to do it. Sometimes they run into problems with trying to clear music, and they're unable to clear it or unwilling to pay for the music, so it doesn't come out in a different format other than VHS tape. So not only is that program, whatever it may be, only available on VHS tape, but there's only a certain amount of copies, of that particular show, let's say, or movie or whatever it is. So whatever's out there in the world is all that there is, unless that studio, whoever controls or owns that programming or that movie, unless they out of the blue decide to start selling VHS tapes, which doesn't seem to be what they're thinking about doing or what they're gonna do, then there's only so many out there, right? So if some certain rare movie, there was only 10,000, 20,000 copies, whatever, however many thousands of copies put out into the world, that's all that there is. And maybe in the future they might come out on DVD, it might go to streaming, it might, but if it has not and it doesn't, then you got to buy that VHS tape. Oh, what did I say? Yeah, to DVD. Never made it to DVD. Did I say something else? Oh, well, I meant to say that the VHS tapes, never made it onto DVD. They were never put onto Blu-ray, DVD, or streaming or anything like that, or especially any physical media. So yeah, you can only buy the VHS tapes. And I've come across a lot of these, and a lot of times when you look them up online on Amazon, they'll only be available VHS. They won't be available on DVD. However, sometimes, this happened more than a few times, a certain program will be available on DVD and sometimes even Blu-ray, but yet the VHS tape will still sell. You can still sell it for a profit, maybe not as much as if it wasn't available on DVD or Blu-ray, but you could still sell it for some money, some profit, because there's not that many copies, there's collectors and that type of thing. So yeah, so you never know. So those are the two big reasons. Let's see here. So the different types of VHS tapes that you could sell, or the different types of genres, the big ones that I've come across, would be kids programming. So the majority of what I sold on VHS tape was kids programming. A lot of it, for whatever reason, did not make it onto DVD or any other physical media, and some of it did. But that's the other thing, that some people, there's collectors, and there's the two reasons, right? Collectors and people that, and programming that never made it onto any other physical media outside of VHS. And there's people that still watch VHS tapes. They don't even watch DVDs. I've met some of these people in my local sale. I've met a few people out, like in thrift stores. I've met people, and it's still true. There's still people that they don't own a Blu-ray player, they don't own a DVD player, and they still watch VHS tapes. So yeah, that's still a thing. There's also another type of, there's also another genre. Well, I can get into that anyway. But so there's kids programming. I'll just lay them out. There's workout tapes, live events, horror movies, and B movies / sort of cult classic type of movies that never made it onto DVD or any other type of physical media. So the types of, so here I'll show you, I've got some tapes over here. So these aren't ones that specifically are good because I have a box of VHS tapes that I've kept because I know that Barney does really well. Not all of them. Again, guys, not every single one of a certain type of kids programming or other programming means that if you see it, you should buy it, but it's probably worth looking up. So Barney tapes are always worth looking up. These are, a lot of times they can be worth money. This one I don't believe is, because I haven't sold it. But I kept it because if I come across other Barney tapes that aren't that valuable individually, if I put a bunch together, I could probably sell them as a lot on eBay. But this is an example, Brian, of a type of program that if you found like 10 Barney tapes, and none of them are worth, very good money individually, that you can put them together and probably get a decent amount of money on eBay for them. I don't know how much, but we can probably do some research. So Barney's a good one. I've sold quite a few Barney tapes individually. Muppets can be good. It varies. Some Muppets and Sesame Street. I think I had some here. And some Sesame Street as well. So Jim Henson, Muppets, Sesame Street. Those potentially individually, but also as a lot. And then another one that I've sold a lot of are Blue's Clues. A decent amount of those I've sold. And then, where is it? Oh. The other one for kids programming that I would look out for is Bear in the Big Blue House. This is one that I have sold a decent amount individually, and if you get them together, a lot together, you might be able to sell them for decent money on eBay. The other thing about VHS tapes, when you're out at a thrift store, or even better at like a garage sale, you can get them for next to nothing. I know that at one thrift store I can think of, they're usually like, if you buy three for 99 cents, or they're 79 cents each. A lot of times, a lot of times they will be cheap. You can get them for 50 cents some places. I even gotten them as cheap as 25 cents. If you go to like an estate sale or garage sale, someone has a box of VHS tapes. You don't necessarily want to buy all of them, but if you're looking through them, they might, you might be able to just get them all for a couple bucks. Uh, but again, it depends on what it is. So they can be super cheap, that's for sure, or inexpensive. Yeah, Barney. Uh, Barney's a big one. I'll look through here and through I'll show you in a second here, my spreadsheet. But Barney's a big one too, for sure. Whenever I'm looking through kids programming, I look for Barney. I look for Bear in the Big Blue House. I look for Blue's Clues, Muppets. There's other ones that random ones. The other thing is too, if you've started to look at VHS tapes a lot, just like books, you'll start to get an eye. You'll start to notice, oh, I've never seen that one before. Let me look it up real quick. Of course, if you're out there scanning, it's easy, right? Most of these VHS tapes have barcodes, so it's real easy to just scan them with your scanner. I'm assuming you're using a scanner or your phone to scan whatever, but it's super easy like with books, so it's not going to be super time consuming. You might come across a few VHS tapes that don't have a barcode, but by and large they will have barcodes, so it will make the whole process a lot faster, and you won't have to spend too much time. So as you get better with VHS tapes, a lot of times they'll have a lot. As you get better with them, you'll be able to go faster through them. So you'll be able to see what's worth even bothering to look up. So what do you call it? So a lot of times the VHS tapes at thrift stores, for instance, they'll have a lot of kids programming, and a lot of it, I'll look at it and I'll know, oh, that's not worth any money. That's not worth any money. Oh, this one I haven't seen before. This one looks like it might be worth something, so I'll look it up, that type of thing. And some things that total random kids program will just end up being worth a little bit of money. So you never quite know. Workout tapes, and I'll go through here. But workout tapes, of course, Jane Fonda. There's a lot of Jane Fonda tapes, but not all of them. Most of them are actually not worth money individually. There's a few that are. And there's a lot of other types of, I'll show you some here, workout tapes. But a lot of them, like Denise Austin, I've sold a few of her tapes. Another kids programming. You guys may have heard of Gymboree, which is that gym that kids can go to and they'll put on classes for them. I sold a Gymboree tape for like $40, $50 a long time ago. It was super rare. So it's that type of stuff. The more rare, the better, basically. So workout tapes, live events. So that could be concerts, a lot of concerts, basically. Yeah, it could be somebody just talking about a topic, but mostly they're concerts. The other big ones, so aside from the two big ones are kids programming and workout tapes, and then the other one is horror movies and then B movies. So like cult movies or bizarre movies you've never heard of. And the key with the B movies and the horror movies is the weirder the artwork and the stranger the title, the better. And also if it's something you've never heard of. If it's a movie you see on VHS tape and you've never heard of that movie, you should look it up. Any horror movie that you see, even the really popular ones, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Chucky, all even some of those, you should probably take a look at them. And also, if you can find the whole series, of course, if you find all the Halloweens or all of them or a good amount of them, you can sell those as a lot for on eBay for sure. Yeah, so the entire series. Let me show you also, let's see. Here's this one I kept. It's called Stepfather 3. Whoops. I put here that I could sell it for $8.99 on eBay, but I held it back. I haven't looked it up since then, but if you can get a bunch of horror movies together, that's good. So here's some concert ones. U2, Rattle and Hum. Whoops. The Best of the Doors. And then I have these Pink Floyd and Metallica. So I kept these because I wanted to see if I could find some other ones. Other thing is, these are all live concerts, but they're different type of music. So if you could do like Metallica, a bunch of Metallica, or Metallica with a bunch of other, hard rock, heavy metal bands, Pink Floyd with some other classic rock type bands, then with, the Doors might make more sense. Then that would probably make more sense doing it by not just that it's live concert, but that it's a similar genre. Another one could be martial arts as well. Actually, that's probably a good one too. I'd look at some martial arts. And you could put that under B movies, I guess, too. Let's see. The Buddhist Fist here I've got. And then I've got Karate Rock. What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's like teaching you how to do karate, I guess. But this is an actual movie. So those can be good as well. Putting a bunch of martial arts films together. If you got a bunch of Bruce Lee ones, whatever it may be, but just old martial arts are good too. So let's see here. So what I did is I put together, or I have here a spreadsheet that I'll share so you can see the whole thing. All right. Okay, so now these are the ones I highlighted are ones that I just wanted to share with you as well. But these are VHS tapes starting in, I actually put down the date that they sold so you can see up there 4/15/15/2015. So that's when they actually sold. And I have, when I scroll all the way down, this goes all the way to, wait a minute, yeah. Hold on a second. Oh no, that's video games. This goes all the way to 2017. So I stopped keeping track in 2017. But as you can tell right here, 424 VHS tapes that I sold between April 2015 and May of 2017. So in a 2-year period, I sold a lot. Oh no, what am I saying? That's vinyl records. I made a mistake there. 315, still a lot. Up to actually 2017. Yeah. So anyway, a little over 2 years. Sorry, those are vinyl records. But anyway, it's still a lot, over 300. And I wanted to go over a few here. So as you can see, just by looking at them, Samson and Sally, the Song of the Whale. So this is, a lot of this is kids, right? So Peter and the Wolf, Scooby-Doo, Sing Along Under the Sea, Blue's Clues, The Magic School Bus, It's Time for Counting, Peter and the Wolf. Here's one that was not worth a lot of money, but just as an example of the type of stuff. Lee Trevino's Priceless Golf Tips, Nightmare on Elm Street, Blue's Clues. And then here we've got some random stuff that I sold. So Obstruction of Justice, The Mena Connection. I don't remember what that was about. Best of Comic Relief. Muscle Motion featuring the Men from Chippendales. I remember that one. Child's Play, which is a horror movie. Jazzercise. Look at this. Judy Shepard Missette's Jazzercise. And that sold for $34.95. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Now, guys, also remember that this is all before I was doing eBay. So I was not looking on eBay to resell these. Don't Go in the Woods, which is a horror movie. War of the Gargantuas. That one is a monster movie, and I sold that for $18.25. So that's a one of those with like a Godzilla type monsters destroying the city, fighting each other. Oh, here I have a WCW Best of Slamboree. That one didn't sell for much, but let's see. Sidekicks was a movie. I think it has Chuck Norris in it, and I I sold that one for $14.75, but that's an example of one that you could sell on VHS. So here's Jane Fonda's Step Aerobics. I don't think that was worth much. I didn't highlight that. Okay, here's an example of one. James Moore with the Mississippi Mass Choir live at Jackson State. So that one was a live concert that is not available anywhere else except on VHS tape. That one I sold for $39.95 back in, what was that? 2016. No, sorry. Yeah, 2016. Pink Floyd. This one here, Jane Fonda, Step and Stretch Workout. This one was a still a valuable one. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, which I sold for $29.95. And the one below it, Joni Gregan's One-on-One, which is a workout tape. I sold that for $20. That's one, a random person you never probably heard of, Joni Gregan's. But if you see her, that might be worth some money as well. I didn't get... Okay, here's 9 Inch Nails Closure. So that's a live concert. I didn't sell that one for very much. But let's see. Barney and Friends. What's that? Shadow. So let's see. This one here, $34.90. What's that one? Exercise for Life, the video. That's right. So if you find any of these Stormy Omartian ones, here, let's look it up right now on eBay, on Amazon. Okay, so what are we doing here? Where is it? Let's go to... Oh no, I'm already on Amazon. I'm over here. Here we go. Exercise for Life. Here it is. Look at that. 3 used, $45. Now, as you know, that's not the only part of the equation, right? We got to look at... Here's the thing, though. Amazon's not showing sales rank on VHS tapes, which is really lame. But if you go to Keepa, see where it stopped showing sales rank in March. But if you look at the last year, it has been selling. So look at the price. The price, for some reason, someone dropped it to $20. I don't know what they're thinking. But look at this. In the last year, it sold 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And these 3 times, it sold for over $40. So if you ask if there's money in VHS tapes, yes, there is. You just have to find the right ones. And then some weirdo, although you know what? I don't know. Maybe this sold before the price dropped. Sales rank is up high and it drops. Yeah, this actually looks like it sold before the price drop. And you can go back the whole time and look how often this is selling. And it's mostly selling for over $20, $30. So that's an example of one. Whoops. Let's see. Teletubbies. Remember the Teletubbies? Superior Duck. I don't know what that is. Whoa. Here's one I sold for $49.95. There it is. Gymboree. Let's look it up and see if it's still... Gymboree VHS. There it is. That's the one that I sold. Oh, look at that. It's unavailable. Unavailable. It's got 9 ratings. And then, let's see. Whoops, let's go over the last year here. So there was one available back in August, and it sold for $50. And then there was one, for some reason, someone listed at $29. They could list it for much more, and then it sold. And then the rank went up to 200, and then it dropped back down. And there was one available for $49, and it dropped back down the rank to 83,000. So it sold 3 times in the last year, although it might have sold again here, but there's no telling if it did. But it's pretty consistent here. So one of these was my sales, somewhere back here. Yeah, so that's another example of one that is super rare, that if you find it out in the wild, boy, a lot of these did not sell for much money. You got to get, okay, so even more baby songs. Oops. Whoops. Oh, it has different ones. So look, it's still going for a good price. 1140 and up, merchant fulfilled. So that's 1540. There's no FBA. Let's take a look and see if this is doing well or if it's been selling. Let's see. Let's look over the past year. Yeah. So this one is not a super duper high price one, but it's one to consider anyway. So here I went through. Let me go back. Here we go. Here's another one. 101 workout. Joni Greggins. Anyway, so I wanted to share with you guys the different types of. Pat says, "What did you find were decent ranks on?" Oh, good question. Right, that's another one I wanted to talk about. Were ranks. So in terms of ranks for VHS tapes, I would say back when I was selling a lot of them, I tried to stay around or under 100,000 for the rank, unless it was something that was going consistently, for 30, 40, $50, and the price was not really going down and people were buying it for that amount. If it was a 200,000 rank, I still would probably try to sell it. And I'm talking about Amazon, of course. I'm not even looking at eBay to see what the prices are for these on eBay. Of course, now I will, or now I would. But in terms of Amazon, yeah, I would say the rank should be, if you want to sell it quicker, probably want to have it under 100,000. Because if it's over 100,000, it might take a little bit longer to sell. So you're probably going to want to make sure that there's more profit in that one if it's over 100,000. I mean, you can sell a VHS tape for $10 on Amazon and make $4 or $5. Probably more like four something, but not everybody wants to. They probably want the $20+ ones. So I would just get better about finding out what are good titles to look up, and it's something to consider once things start opening back up and we're able to go out there. And that's the other thing about VHS tapes, similar to books, is people don't place much value on them in general, so they'll almost give away VHS tapes. Just take them off my hands, and it's similar with books. They place value in books, but not so much like a Blu-rays or even DVDs or video games. There's books everywhere, right? There's millions and millions of books. So similar with VHS tapes, there's millions of VHS tapes taking up space in storage units, in people's shelves in their house, especially baby boomers. I mean, I know in the 80s, that my parents owned a lot of VHS tapes, and we used to watch VHS tapes. I remember watching Thriller on VHS, the Thriller video and the making of the video and the music video and all that type of stuff. And that's what you did. You watched VHS tapes and you rented VHS tapes to take home and watch. And then you had to be kind and rewind, and you had to rewind your VHS tape to the beginning before you returned it. So there's millions and millions of VHS tapes out there sitting in people's houses and storage units and wherever, taking up space. So yeah, that's why so many end up at thrift stores, and most of them will not be worth money. But I think it's something good to get into for sure. The horror ones are the two that are the most fun to me are the horror titles and the B movie type of random movies that you probably never heard of, never seen, that have really strange, unique, what do you call it? Titles. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, but this is here we go. me share. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Never been to this website before, but it says Trapped on VHS, 10 fun. That's disgusting. Horror movies only available on tape. Alien abduction incident in Lake County. Well, let's take them up on the challenge and let's see alien abduction. Abduction VHS. Wait, what is it called? Incident. This doesn't seem to have it. Let's try eBay. Okay, bad example. Blue Monkey. The Kindred. Oh, man. Oops. Well, this is not exactly a good example. Oh, God. That's disgusting. Spookies. Huh. I think I've heard of that one. Have you guys heard of that one before? Whoa, $70. Look at that one. Spookies. Let's see what stuff is actually selling for, because you can always ask for it. The wacky spookies. There we go. Spookies VHS. Here's another one, guys. Look out for Spookies. I love that it says fully rewound, as if that's a super benefit, but I guess so. Spookies 1990. Oh, and they had an auction for it, so that's cool. So look for that one, guys, if you ever see it. Spookies. They started bidding it at $4. Wow, that was risky of them, but let's see if other ones. Spookies, there's another one. For some reason, they wanted to sell it for much less. Huh. Grim Prairie Tales. Grim Prairie Tales. Oh, there you go. 40. This one sold for nothing. So not that valuable. Dream Demon. Here's the thing, though. If you found a bunch of these, you could probably put them together in a lot and do well as well. Horror lot. See? Look at this. Horror VHS lot. And they got $25 for it. Here it is. Dream Demon. There you go. $25.88. Nice. That's be a nice flip if you found it for a buck or a quarter or 50 cents at a thrift sale, garage sale, whatever. That's a good one. Mr. Frost. That's what's his name, right? Mr. Frost. Nope. Nightlife. The Keep. Nah, not for that much money. Look at this one. Look at this. Vintage horror. So what do they have in here? Class Reunion Massacre. House of Psychotic Women. The Keep. What is this one? Manitou? The Manitou. Blood-sucking... I'm not sure what that is. Wanted Dead, Not Alive. The Glove. House of Psychotic Women. Class Reunion Massacre. The Keep. There it is, The Keep. Look at that. $84.99 plus shipping. They started the bidding at $20. So there's some titles. I've never seen those in VHS, but it's because they're probably super rare. There's another one. So yeah, you can do some lots together as well. The Keep, well, it doesn't go for much, but that's why they put it into a lot of other ones. Let's see what else. No. Nightmare on the 13th Floor. The Prey. House of Death, aka Death Screams. Man. Nope. There it is. Look at that. Another nice one. Let's see how many are actually available for sale. Not too many. The Mutilator. Man. Here's a nice one too. Look at that. If you have the artwork, $32. That's this is without it, tape only. There it is, $34. Here's another one. So you could make a list. I mean, you could go through here, although you don't need to do that, because if I saw this in a thrift store, if I saw this cover in a thrift store or anywhere, I would immediately grab it. I wouldn't even need to look it up, to be honest, but I would buy it, especially because it's probably going to be going for super cheap. I mean, I would look it up and I'd say, "Oh, look at that. It's going for..." Let's see what it goes for on Amazon though. The Mutilator. See if it's on here. Mutilator. Let's see if it's... Look at that. They've got one offer for $85, but does it actually sell for that kind of money? Let's see. Ugh, can't see it. Okay. Let's see the last year. Oh, that is not selling. So the person that's had it up there has had it for a year or more, and it is not sold. It is sold. See, this is an example, guys, of why eBay is so good, because you might say, "Oh, you get it for less money," but you're not even selling it. Like, no one's even buying it on Amazon. This is since January of 2018. It's only sold twice. It sold and when it was down to $40. So you might as well put it on eBay, because it's gonna be more of a collector's item. But yeah, I mean, look at that title or that cover. Isn't that awesome? If I saw that cover, I would totally buy that. Even if I couldn't look it up, if I just was wherever, without, yeah. Yeah, spookies. What did you find were decent ranks on VHS tapes? Oh, right, I answered that. So, did you sell more as MF or FBA? These were all FBA. Those were all FBA, by the way. Yeah, those that I showed you. I did not do merchant fulfilled at that. I don't think I was doing merchant fulfilled at all at that point. So those were all FBA. Spookies, I would honestly watch it before I sold it. Yeah, that cover on the Mutilator says "Buy me," for sure. It absolutely does. So these are cool to know, the Mutilator. But I wouldn't. I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't even need to. I would just see the cover and, oh man, Hide and Go Shriek. The names of these are awesome. Hide and Go Shriek. So this one does not go for as much. But again, though, I would definitely buy it. I mean, I'd buy it for, if I got it for $1 or less than $1, for sure. Sell it for $17. Heck yeah. Look at that one, though. I mean, that's creepy. Oh yeah, in a second. That's the thing, like, let's see. I put weird. Well, these are horror. Oh, great. No, okay. This is okay. This site is not helping. Distribution. Here, rare and expensive types of VHS tapes. Whoa. Right, horror movies. Pro wrestling. That's another one. Pro wrestling. So write that down. Absolutely. Halloween Havoc. Let's look it up. WCW Halloween Havoc. WCW. There you go. Well, there's a couple different ones. 1994. Oh, let's do just the 94 then. Oh no, this one looks good too though. But so again, guys, if you see any of these wrestling tapes, some of them can be worth some good money too. So this one sold for $30. There was another one here from 1997 that sold for 25. Halloween Havoc. This one sold for 20. 15, 20 bucks. So yeah, wrestling for, look at this one. I don't know what the offer was. Look at this one. Halloween Havoc 95 with Hulk Hogan, 35 bucks. And here we go. A lot of 10 of them that individually might not be worth the money. Oh man. Halloween Havoc 93. So it depends on which Halloween Havoc it was, apparently. Yeah. This is a good one here. So pro wrestling, film releases from second-rate and defunct distributors. Huh. Yeah. See, B movies and public domain classics. Splatter Farm. So it says, for example, Donna. Sorry guys, I can't read this. Donna Michelle Productions released 7 horror flicks between 1986 and 90 that really strained the term B movie. So, Splatter Farm. Let's check it out. This one didn't go for... Oh, because they did a bid, see? They should have done this. They should have did buy it now. Well, anyway. I mean, just how cool does that look? Oh, man. I mean, look at that. If you saw that, oh, geez, I would buy that in a second. Wait, they have more than one copy? Oh, they have 3 available. Look at that. And they've sold 5, see? So there's another one, Splatter Farm. Let's see. Rock and Roll Mobster Girls. Are there any for sale? Let's look at Kiss VHS. And let's see what is sold. Okay, wow. We're getting... Okay. Anyway, distributed or banned movies. Yeah, Song of the South. Music videos, that's true. Just, concerts, music videos, complete TV series runs. Foreign films and TV shows. Exploitation films. Brotherhood of Death. Yeah. All right, guys. So, oops. Pat says all the stream is doing is making me miss thrift stores and garage sales even more. Absolutely. Splatter Farm, that's pretty cool. What are the chances of finding that? Seems to be super rare. The Mutilator. So those are some cool titles that we can try and look for and find out in the wild. Splatter Farm, great name, and the color of the tape is interesting too. Yeah, absolutely. It's there's some good stuff up there for sure. So I hope that this guys gave you some ideas. Kids tapes, programming. Barney's a big one. Bear in the Blue House. There's a lot of different ones. Muppets. So a lot of these too, whatever it is, whether it's workout tapes, kids programming, live events, or music videos was another one. That's another one to to look for. Music videos. I think I sold a few of those in the past too. Live events, horror, B movies, martial arts, pro wrestling. As always is the case with eBay, if you find a bunch of pro wrestling VHS tapes. Look them up individually because there might be one or two that are worth 40 or 50 bucks. Those are probably ones you want to sell individually, but the rest of them, put them into a lot, and maybe you can get 20, 30, 40 bucks for them. Do your research, right? Just do your research. This is why it's great to be able to, or to sell on Amazon and on eBay. Because a lot of times these will do much better on eBay than on Amazon, as we saw with that Mutilator one. I believe it was the Mutilator, which is not even sold, but on eBay it actually is selling because there's more collectors that will go there for that type of stuff. That's another one. Testing. See, these are all great. So did I test them? Yes, but what I would do, because there's no way I'm going to watch an entire tape, is I would just watch the beginning to make sure that it's running, that it plays without any major tracking issues or any issues at all. I might watch the first 20 seconds or something like that, fast forward. A lot of times the tapes that I would get were not rewound, so I would just pop it in and it's at towards the end, in the middle, closer to the beginning, and I would just hit play and I could just watch 20, 30 seconds of it, make sure it's going, playing well, and then I'd rewind it myself. I would always rewind them before I would send them in to sell them on Amazon. I do the same thing on eBay too. I would do the same for sure. Now, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, even if it's a super valuable one, to sit there and watch an hour, 2 hours, just seems crazy to me. But I never had any issues. I never had anybody say the tape doesn't work or anything like that. So I would recommend at least watching the beginning of it, or if it's not rewound, just wherever it is, watch it, maybe rewind it and then watch the beginning, just to make sure that that it's working. There might be a spot here and there that there might be an issue, but overall it seems to be fine. Before I had a resurfacer for CDs or DVDs, discs of any type of media, disc media, I would test them if they had any sort of major wear or minor wear, even major enough that I felt it could be an issue. I would quickly run through the songs years ago, and that would be a little more time consuming, but I just wanted to make sure that it was going to work. Since I got the disc resurfacer, then I've been able to resurface the discs and make sure that it's a smooth disc and it should play without a problem. But yeah, for VHS tapes, you're probably going to want to test at least the beginning of it, a little bit of it, just to make sure. And I would rewind them. If you don't have a VHS or VCR, you can usually, if you don't have one now, when things reopen, you can just buy one for pretty cheap at a thrift store. Usually the Goodwills around where I live always have at least a couple in stock. The other thing about VHS tapes are the VCRs, right? People need to have a VCR to buy them, to play them. And several years ago, the last manufacturer of VCRs stopped making them. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. There was an article about it. It was a Japanese company, and they put out their last one and they stopped. And so there's no more new VCRs being built. So whatever's out there is what's out there. But you would be surprised by how many VCRs you'll find at thrift stores and at estate sales or garage sales. So it's probably going to be pretty easy to pick one up for inexpensive to test. I have one up here above my desk on a shelf that's connected to a small TV, and anytime I get anything that I'm gonna resell, I just pop it in and test it out, and it's easy, right? Try it out. So VHS, guys, I hope that we learned something, had a little bit of fun. It was fun to look at some of those old titles and those old horror movie cover art and the names that they gave them. It's pretty awesome. So if you're going to get into it, definitely. Thankfully, it's easy though to notice these. They stand out. I mean, if you see a bunch of normal VHS tape titles and then suddenly there's the Mutilator or whatever Gore Fest, type of title with some crazy artwork. Although some thrift stores might not even put those out. So it depends. But yeah, I would definitely look for that stuff because that's going to be probably worth your time to resell for sure. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Right. I've sold a lot of blank VHS for good money, never really movies though. This was cool. Oh, no problem, Pat. Also, that's the other one that I didn't talk about is blank VHS tapes. If they're new and sealed, you can sell those for good money. If they are pre-recorded blank tapes, right? You can sell those for good money on eBay. I've done that, depending on what it is. People actually look for pre-recorded VHS tapes because they're looking for a particular type of program that's not available anywhere, that was only shown on TV years ago, and they're hoping that somebody has a VHS tape that they recorded it onto. That's another bizarre niche here of VHS tapes. So if you come across pre-recorded VHS tapes, don't throw them out. If you can get enough of them together, look on eBay. You'll see. Here, let me. I will show you here some of the solds real quick. So here we go. So the prices will vary, right? Like 10 pre-recorded. So a lot of people just do bids. I did bids too, and it varied as to how much I sold them for. So this one's like Japanese. This one's, oh, that's not it. This one's, what is this? What's this one? Pre-recorded VHS cassettes. That one for more money. Oh, they had to buy it now. So that you can say sold as used blanks. So they're called used blanks or pre-recorded. 40 recordable VHS tapes pre-recorded being sold as blanks. And look at this, May 7th. I mean, it sells pretty often, guys. Not all of them. Like I said, you know, if you're going to do the auction, you're going to risk it's not going to go for that much money. But if you know what's on there, if you can read, because a lot of people put the labels on there, if you can read it and see what's on there, it's better to advertise it as that in the title or in the description box. Like if all of them were workout tapes or all of them were some funky random thing, then it's a good idea. Comedy Central. From local and HBO. Okay. Sold as blanks. Look at this one. Used recordable blanks. It's one for $37. Pre-recorded. This is all just in May. So this is all the last 10, 11 days. Yeah. Look, a lot of 11 Kansas State football related pre-recorded. So look at that. So whoever is into Kansas State, you can just wait, put it up there for $30 and wait for the Kansas State person to come along. So yeah, so you can do that too. Thanks for reminding me, guys. This is why I like to do I like for a lot more people to get involved in the stream so that we can help each other out. And I try to remember as much as I can about it. But yeah, it's amazing how you can talk for an hour about reselling VHS tapes. We could even continue to talk about it. But tomorrow we'll do something different. Tomorrow, the plan is to talk about, for me to share some of the books that I got from, what do you call it? From that pickup. I have one bin from the donation. I have one bin in my trunk, and we'll go through that. And who knows what else. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday and that you're able to sell a lot, list a lot, or just hang out, whatever you're doing. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it.
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive, we're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, we're flippin' live.
Thanks to everybody that tuned in. I do appreciate it. We'll have another show tomorrow. If you like the show, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell to notify you when there's a new video that's going to come out. So tomorrow at 7 a.m. I do appreciate it, guys. So keep booking. Have a great day and stay safe, right? Thanks, guys.